All right, today we're going to get right into it and talk about the source code of existence itself. We're talking about the one thing that connects every single plant, animal, fungus, and bacterium, the fundamental unit of all life. So let me just ask you a question to get us started. What could you possibly have in common with a massive, ancient redwood tree and a microscopic bacterium you can't even see? I mean, it seems impossible, right? They're on completely different scales, living in totally different worlds. The answer is this, the cell. This one single, elegant, and unbelievably complex little structure is the hero of our story today. It is the one thing that unites every living being on planet Earth. To really, truly understand life, we have to start right here, because the cell isn't just a part of life. In so many ways, it is life. Think of it this way. To build a house, you need bricks, right? Well, to build life, you need cells. It's the structural unit, that's the brick. It's the functional unit, the little factory that does all the work. And it's the reproductive unit, the blueprint that makes more of itself. It's the whole package. Now, our entire modern understanding of biology is built on just a few simple but absolutely revolutionary rules about the cell. And this whole framework is what we call cell theory. So let's hop in a time machine back to the 1830s. You've got these two scientists, Schleiden and Schwann, and they put together a bunch of observations into a theory that was, for its time, completely mind-blowing. It was a total game changer for biology. Okay, so let's break down the rules of the game for life itself. First up, every single living thing is made of at least one cell. That's rule one. This makes the cell the basic unit of life. It's the smallest thing that we can really consider to be alive. And third, and this was the huge breakthrough, cells don't just magically appear out of thin air. Every single cell has to come from another cell that already existed. Now, all of this seems pretty straightforward to us now, doesn't it? But for most of human history, this entire world was completely hidden from us. Its discovery was a real technological adventure. And this leads to a pretty obvious question, right? How did we ever discover something we can't even see? The answer, of course, was that we had to invent new ways to look. It all kicked off in the 17th century. A scientist named Robert Hooke looked at a thin slice of cork under a very early microscope and saw these tiny, box-like structures. He's the one who called them cells. A few years later, Anton van Leeuwenhoek became the first person to ever see living, swimming, single-celled organisms, which he gave the awesome name animalcules. But the real revolution, that came in the 20th century with the invention of the electron microscope. Only then could we finally peek inside the cell and see all the incredible machinery at work. So, we've seen the cell up close. Now, let's zoom out, way out, and see how this one tiny block builds the entire magnificent diversity of life on Earth. Because the cell, as amazing as it is really just the first step. It's the start of an incredible architectural journey, taking us from the microscopic world all the way up to the macroscopic. And this is the hierarchy of life. It all starts with cells, our fundamental building blocks. Then you get groups of similar cells working together. We call those tissues, like your muscle tissue. Tissues then organize to create organs, like your heart or your brain. Those organs work together in systems, like the circulatory system. And all of those systems, working in perfect concert, create the final organism, you. So the next time you look in the mirror, just remember that you're not just seeing one thing. You're seeing a cooperative, a community of trillions of individual living units, all working together in stunning harmony. That is the architecture of you. So, after seeing how life is built from the cell all the way up, it all comes back to this one powerful idea. From the smallest microbe to the largest whale, the cell is the beginning and the end. It's the brick, the factory, and the blueprint. Which leaves us with one last pretty profound thought. If you are a walking, talking ecosystem made of trillions of individual living cells, what does it truly mean to be alive? That's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us.